podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Miss Billie Holiday.
Bird.
The music called jazz. Its roots are in the sounds of the African, or should I say the mother, bringing us back again. From the drumming on the Congo, it came with a strong flow and continued to grow. Feet moved to the beat of the tabalo. Now dig the story and follow. For then it landed on American soil. Through the sweat, the blood, and the toil. It praised the Lord, shouted on chain gangs, pain they felt, but it helped them to maintain. Scott Joplin crack, Bessie Smith's blues, St. Louis blues, they were all the news, ringing smooth in all the listeners' ears, fulfilling the needs and planting the seeds of a jazz fan. King Oliver's groove was a train coming through to Chicago, bringing in New Orleans groove, and when Satchmo blew, the audience knew. Basin Street Blues was the whorehouse tune, it was music.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Fuck, I fucked that up, didn't I? I did do a mark there. It was because I was editing the show the other day. It was like Becky really did give him a hard time about his introduction last week. I think I just kind of... I know. Let me try that again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 351 of Film Bastards. My name's Ian Loring, and as always this week I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
Mark Foster, hello everybody.
And as a treat for us all, we are also joined by...
Jordan Mcgrath.
Strong. His film, her movies, Jordan Mcgrath is also here. So what are we discussing this week? Well, we got a triple banger. So the iTunes rental of the week section, we think we're just going to retire. There seems to be enough that we're actually able to kind of talk about at the moment. I had discussed that. I just want to check that that's not a surprise to Mark and Becky.
No, that's not a surprise to Mark and Becky.
I am scandalised.
Shook to your core.
Shook, I am shook.
And I literally got 2 minutes into 8 Mile yesterday when Mark texted me and said, we're not going to make it to 8 Mile. It was just like, let's just fuck it off, eh?
Yeah.
Like,
Might have got like a quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile.
Yeah, quarter of a mile.
That's how you live your life.
Yeah, quarter mile at a time.
Indeed. So we have got this week Netflix's Spike Lee collaboration, The Five Bloods. Disney Plus's Kenneth Branagh directed Artemis Fowl. Did at least Mark and Becky watch Silent Hill Revelation?
Obviously.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
It was. Very nearly didn't happen, but we'll come to that when we review it, won't we?
Oh god, yes.
I'm fairly sure George... Oh, sorry, Bex.
No, I was just saying I'd forgotten about the trauma of that. I'd blanked it out of my mind. Mark's just reminded me.
Interesting.
Carry on.
George, I take it George did not watch The Majesty of Silent Hill Revelation.
I absolutely did.
Yay!
Would you?
No.
Oh.
Bloody hell, Jordan.
You had me going there. Fair play. We'll have some news. We do have trailers. We got a couple of trailers, I believe, or at least a couple. Yeah. Lockdown kind of continues in whatever the fuck it actually is now. Doesn't really. Are cinemas going to be open in July? Who knows? Tenet got Tenet got pushed back 2 weeks to July the 31st with a re-release of Inception with footage from Tenet scheduled to come out on the 17th instead. Interestingly, I saw on Twitter today that Warner Brothers Brazil have pushed back Tenet formally to the 13th of August, which has kind of had some tongues wagging, like, well, are other territories going to do that? Who the fuck knows? To be fair, I think the government's probably going to allow people to eat each other out on public street corners before long in terms of how they're dealing with easing lockdown restrictions. So, cinemas, I think, will be open. Whether any fucker goes to them, who's to say? Yeah. It's interesting. George, how are you feeling about going back to the cinema?
I'm quite looking forward to it. It depends on what's on. Obviously, if Tenet's there, I will definitely go see Tenet. I probably won't go and see the Russell Crowe film, but the whole thing doesn't worry me at all, because I just know you're going to be split out enough that it's not going to really be an issue. But I can see, I just I don't know where they're going to be making all their money. I know they can put them on loads of different screens, but I still think people won't go. The general person will not go. They're more willing to go to a packed bar and get hammered than be social distance in a cinema.
It's an interesting one, that, isn't it? Because the cinema is not a very social activity, and obviously people for like the last 3 months now have not been able to socialise. That's that.
To be honest, most people have. It's generally, when you walk around the streets now, people really aren't socially distancing anymore.
I need
so
to
at least,
walk
at
more
least
streets.
And the amount of pictures that you see on social media of people going around people's sort of like houses and things like that, it's
frustrating, isn't it? Given everything that people have done, for them to just fucking chuck it out the window at the last minute.
I mean, it wasn't. It's we're living in the post-Cummings COVID fallout.
Well, yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Once that happened, it basically, for a lot of people, it went out the fucking window.
Even though, it's interesting. It's been like 3 weeks since that now, and the R rate, I mean, it's gone up, but it hasn't quite. I think maybe it hasn't quite gone up in the way that some people would have expected it to. And it's interesting. I mean, like Wales, apparently the R rate is amongst like the lowest in the UK. To be fair, it's been way more forcefully fucking enforced here. But it's I don't know. It doesn't quite feel like it's been as apocalyptic as people thought it was going to. Like, all these things of just like, those beaches that were really crowded. That was 3 weeks ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like people saying like, look at all this, you've only going to have yourselves to blame in a couple of weeks' time, and it hasn't really materialized. It's weird, and maybe it is just because like outside it is just a lot harder to actually like catch it.
But I'm just happy. I mean, the thing is, I'm sort of it's troublesome in a way that it's, for example, it's like football coming back. Should football generally be coming back on a health and safety sense? No, but I'm happy that it's coming back 100%. It's my own personal needs rather than the needs of the people, which makes me sound like an absolute dick. But come Wednesday night, I can't wait to watch 2 games back to back. It's going to make my week.
It's the thing is, I mean, like with football, when you say should it be coming back from a health and safety point of view, I'm not entirely sure. It's a no there, just because of the sheer amount of testing and security that they're going through. It's like, aren't they're getting tested for COVID like twice a week or something like that. And it's not costing the NHS anything, because they've all bought these machines that take longer to produce results than the NHS testing ones are. So, it's I mean, it is fucking ridiculous that, out of all the things to kind of resume, it is like professional sport. But I mean, it's that kind of like it's a bit of a tonic for the people, like you say, George. I mean, like fucking Tottenham United on Friday night cannot fucking wait. You know what I mean? Cannot wait for that. The games on Wednesday are going to be good as well. It's. I mean, we've been saying on this podcast for weeks now. It comes to a point where life kind of does have to resume. And if you could do it in a way where football is, where it's just like, right, we're going to have to like suck up the fact that we're not going to have any fucking punters here, but still carry on. It's kind of fair enough. I mean, like the one thing that pisses me off about it is the fact that Newcastle are the one team that have not said, yes, we will refund season ticket holders. Like it's more that kind of thing than COVID that bothers me about the way that football's coming back at the moment.
Newcastle's excuse for that is terrible as well.
What is it?
It's that it may affect the current ongoing takeover, which may get vetoed anyway.
Oh, is this by the dodgy people?
Hey, I tell you though, I bet most Newcastle fans will probably say, "Take my season ticket. I want Ashley out."
Yeah.
It's a fair point. I mean, God, what they need to do is like an opening ceremony for the new owners. Is just to take all the Sports Direct hoardings in the stadium, just burn them in the centre of the pitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, Liverpool are going to win the title in a couple of weeks. United are going to smash Spurs on Friday.
By talking about it, don't fucking jinx that.
Well, yeah, but I know I.
It's currently unjinxable.
I mean,
Liverpool winning the league at this current
if there's
point.
one club.
No, Mark, just don't say anything because at the moment you've got two non-Liverpool supporting people talking about it, so you're safe.
I'm safe. Why do you think I've kept quiet?
Well, no, exactly. I mean, to be fair, if you guys now lose the title, Becky is solely to blame.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because you just said don't jinx it.
You were the one talking about it.
But does jinxing things work if the people talking about it aren't necessarily that bothered about that thing happening?
When football is concerned, I believe in the power of the jinx.
Yeah, let's just not risk it, eh?
Well, that's like super jinx.
No, it hasn't served me that well in my near 40 years. It has served me terribly. But I still believe in the power of the jinx.
Fair enough. So Mulan now looks to be the first big thing to come out in the UK. We'll see if Disney hold the line. I feel like they would at this point. But, we shall see. Wonder Woman moved to October. The Robert Zemeckis Witches remake has moved to an unannounced date, because I think it was coming out in Wonder Woman's place. Matrix 4 has moved to 2022, and the film that literally no one cares. Does anyone care about Godzilla vs. Kong at this point?
No.
Literally, when the trailer arrives, people go, "Well, they made it."
Yeah, I mean, good on Adam Wingard for getting that job. But Godzilla King of the Monsters was the most boring blockbuster I've seen in a number of years. Awful fucking film that is. And yeah, that is now coming out in Matrix 4's place. So, the great fucking hokey cokey of film schedules continues.
Can I just say, I predicted when they announced that John Wick 4 and The Matrix were going to be released on the same day, I said there's not a fucking chance that will happen, and COVID has proved me right.
Can you imagine, though, what a double bill that would be for Keanu Reeves fans?
Well, yeah, it'd been fantastic.
It would have been fucking magnificent.
Yeah. Can you imagine us trying to cram in all of the fucking Matrix films and the John Wick films in to all do one big podcast?
I mean, that would be a pretty solid week of watching, to be fair. Fuck you, COVID.
Well, people are going to be able to get the Keanu fix sooner in cinemas. Let's fucking segue.
Segue. That was beautiful.
It's gonna be a Keanu-tastic late summer, early autumn with Cyberpunk 2077 starring Keanu Reeves in an apparently very large role coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but also in trailer talk, Bill and Ted Face the Music. The first looks more like a teaser, which is interesting. But considering the film is supposed to come out in 2 months, that's an interesting choice. What did we think, guys? Jord, as our guest, what did you make of this?
I mean, I definitely want to see it. It does look kind of fun, but it's just anytime Keanu Reeves delivers a line, it looks like he's having a stroke. And like, I'm a fan of the whole sort of Keanu Reeves renaissance with John Wick and things like that, but I don't know why he just looks so stilted. And
I said to Mark the other day, Keanu Reeves without a beard now looks like someone wearing a Keanu Reeves mask.
He looks more plastic than anything else. Like, It looks like he's got so much Botox in. But when you see him with a beard, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, I'm all for it, and I will definitely go and see it. But the trailer didn't do anything for me to be like, this is going to be great. It's completely nostalgia fueled.
Yeah.
What?
No one else will say anything.
I am. It's the trailer doesn't tell you that much. There's not that much in it, but I was there going, I want this warm hug from Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, and I have a feeling that's what it's going to be like. It's just going to be this really nice.
Yeah.
Just it. I think the problem often you get with these films that are these reboots or these sequels that exist for pure nostalgia is people fooled into thinking that that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey are like fucking 5-star classic films, and they are really enjoyable, and I really like them. I have a really strong affinity for Bogus Journey, but I think people are expecting to do like something amazing, and it's just going to be really entertaining, and that's all you need is fun entertainment.
I just don't know how like, whoa, excellent translates into grown men doing that. Like, I don't.
Marvelously. I'm modelling my entire life on it.
Based on what's on screen, it doesn't look great. I don't know how keen I am for swole future Bill and Ted.
I am so into that.
But I mean, it'll be fun. I'll watch it because it's got Keanu Reeves in it, and it's a Bill and Ted sequel. So, but it's not a great teaser that they've put together.
It teased me enough.
Did it tease
you?
It
teased, yeah.
Did it tickle your balls?
It tickled my balls, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a bit of pre there.
Oh, you always have to take it too fucking far, don't you?
Too far.
You disgust me.
Good.
Dirty bitch.
I
Ian.
really don't like it when you two start talking like that on the podcast.
Why?
It just sounds like a fucking mating ritual.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of disappointing when this turns out to be a 3.5 out of 5, I think. It's not going to be shit, and it's going to mean it's going to be so well intended. But yeah, unsure. It's good to see Alex Winter
about that. Because you're right there, absolutely. But my prediction is the first 10-15 minutes are going to be close to 5 out of 5. Then the rest of the movie is going to be 3 out of 5, which is going to start to make you go, all right. And then the last 10 minutes where you get the banger of a song that might be terrible, but it will be a banger within the actual film, will make you go, 5 out of 5, give it all the awards.
I hope so. And, it's now that Wonder Woman's fucked off, it's actually got, a pretty clear run during August, really, assuming it doesn't just like eventually go to premium VOD or anything. So best of luck to it. And it's great to see an Orion logo at the start of a film, a trailer, but we'll see what happens. There was another trailer as well, and it's completely gone out of my fucking memory. What's the other trailer?
Was it the Eurovision one?
Eurovision. Thank you, Jord.
I haven't watched this one.
I am very much looking forward to watching this a week Friday. I'm very excited that it's coming out a week Friday. It would have made more sense if it came out, I don't know, maybe before Eurovision this year. But yeah, I will watch Will Ferrell square off against Dan Stevens for the affections of Rachel McAdams, while also trying to impress Pierce Brosnan. I'm fine with that.
That's it. The thing is, I was already in when it was Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams because I like them both very much as comedians. So I was already very in with that. And then when Dan Stevens arrived in the trailer, especially as he was shirtless, I was like,
always good fun, isn't it?
I am so in with this. This looks amazing. Dan Stevens is great. Dan Stevens is great at anything he does.
Can I watch it just for Dan Stevens and just hold my thumb up in front of the screen every time Will Ferrell and his fucking ugly face is on there?
If you want to do, yeah, it might add to your entertainment for it.
Oh, but have you not seen the Volcano Man music video?
No.
I'll show you on the podcast.
It's fucking good. He's a volcanic protector man. It's brilliant.
I just don't find him funny at all.
Except when you're actually watching his movies, you laugh at him frequently.
Like what?
You Anchorman, you like?
Anchorman's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like him in Zoolander?
Not really. I mean, that's not a Will Ferrell movie.
I'm just saying that you often laugh at Will Ferrell and say you don't like him.
I don't think he's funny anymore.
That's an unfair comment. But...
And Elf's shit. I think it's Elf mainly. Elf has put me off him because everyone goes on about how fucking great that movie is, and it's trash. What?
What?
Giggling at.
I'm not a massive fan of Elf, but it's not a hill I'm going to die on.
It's crap. And Zooey Deschanel can eat a dick.
I'm sure she can.
Several at one.
Sure she can. Jord, any thoughts on Eurovision at all?
I haven't seen the trailer, but Will Ferrell in that wig. See, I am a fan of Will Ferrell when he's being a little bit less Will Ferrell-y. Like, for example, when he goes full on Ferrell, it irks me a little bit. But hopefully he doesn't go full Ferrell.
So you're hoping for like
Blades of Glory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
You liked The House?
No, I didn't.
Oh, The House is good.
Who's that annoying woman that's in it as well?
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
Her either. Them two as a partnership on fucking screen? No. That's
Jason
just
Mantzoukas
that's the opposite of Becky Nip.
Jason
Yeah.
Mantzoukas there.
Jason Mantzoukas is fucking great in that film.
But again, I'd have to hold both thumbs up in front of Amy Poehler and Will Ferrell's face to enjoy it.
No, but then you've also got just the running gag about him having the ladies' glasses on, and just insisting that they're not women's glasses. That's a very, very good 85 minutes or so is The House.
It is 85 minutes.
Okay, so any other trailers?
No. Yes, actually, yeah, we do actually. 7500, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie that no one knew existed, but is on Amazon Prime from Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer for this.
It looks really good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know anything about the story?
Is it based on a true story?
I don't know if it's based on a true story. Do you know anything about the story?
Oh.
He's a pilot and a terrorist tries to take over the plane. And it's all set in the cabin.
Yeah, but his partner is one of the cabin crew they've taken hostage.
Oh, right. Like, oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's an interesting trailer. I want to see how long this movie is. Because if they can get into a tense, like, under 100 minutes, this could be quite a good one, actually. Yeah, 132 minutes.
132 minutes.
That's
92 minutes.
92 minutes. An hour and 32 minutes, I meant to say.
Right, okay, there we go. Okay,
92
that's
minutes,
better.
yeah. This looks like a 92-minute film.
Well, Red Eye was about 80 minutes. So, you know.
I like Red Eye.
I like Cillian Murphy. I want him to do more.
Well, we shall talk about 7500 next week.
Yep.
You might have to remind me that we're reviewing that. God. So we're doing the nice economical hour and a half long Joseph Gordon-Levitt airplane hijack movie and the Judd Apatow film. So obviously it's 5 hours long.
Yeah.
That's next week. Right. Okay. Great. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. So what shall we talk about first? Let's warm up with a lovely bit of Artemis Fowl.
And he always shared his discoveries with me. The only thing he kept private was his journal.
Then that's what we have to find.
I wouldn't know where to begin to look. Could your father have ever given you a clue as to where to start?
He never told me how to start. But he may have told me how to end.
End?
Yeah. He read the same poem to me every night before bed and every time he left. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields.
Who wrote this poem, Artie?
Nobody knows. That's just it.
And how do you find it?
It's known as the Irish Blessing. It's a journal. It's Dad's journal.
It's directed by Kenneth Branagh and stars I Am Robot Boy Who Cannot Express Emotion, Josh Gad, Judi Dench, Nonzo Nonzo. Oh my God, I'm not doing that on purpose. Sorry?
You're just channeling Mark Fosterisms today.
I'm so sorry. It was just like I was trying to think of his name in my head, and whenever I did, it was just like does not compute. I want to say it's Nonzo Anozi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Right. Thank you, George. And yeah, Colin Farrell's in there as well. So what the fuck's this piece of shit about? Let's have a think. There's a young boy who is a criminal mastermind, ? Whose dad is kidnapped by a person, and that person says, "Oi, kid, you have to get this thing for me, otherwise I'm going to do your dad in." So he goes, "All right then, I'm a criminal mastermind, so I'm going to try and save my dad." Because apparently that's what criminal masterminds do. Josh Gad is also in it and does a voice like he's trying to sound tough but doesn't understand the concept of what being tough is. This film is fucking awful, and if anyone's got anything positive to say about it, just go for it now, and then we can just talk about what this film actually is. Does anyone have anything positive to say about Artemis Fowl?
I really enjoyed the bit where the butler man picks Colin Farrell up when he comes back from being kidnapped and sort of gives him a hug. That was funny. The fact that he just picks him up. That's the only bit I enjoyed.
Good shit. Mark?
Positives. It's 95 minutes long.
Is it a positive when it's 95 minutes long but feels like it wants to be 2 hours?
Yeah, but imagine if it was 2 hours long,
Yeah.
It would feel like you are still watching it now.
Yeah.
And messaging me saying, we'll start when this film actually fucking finishes. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a totally fair counterpoint. Jord?
Well, it's 95 minutes long, but it's actually 88 minutes before credits.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing there is, like, the first 9 minutes is basically prologue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is the only positive I can actually say about this film.
I mean, I laughed a couple of times at the scene between Josh Gad and Judi Dench. I don't know, like, I thought they had some interesting chemistry together, and I also the big dramatic music as the elves or fairies or whatever the fuck they were coming to the house, and then it kind of like zooms in on Judi Dench, and then she just says "top of the morning." I don't know why I found that funny, but I did. Apart from those, this film cost $125 million.
Like how? It's the cheapest looking shit.
I mean, I watched it with Donna, and she was just like, "Are you sure this was supposed to be coming out in cinemas? That this isn't just a Disney Plus thing?" Like it just the staging of it all, like the lighting, the production design, just the scope of the fucking thing is so TV.
That is, but not even like the scope of it is like it believes that it has this massive scope, but it has no scope. Like, does it really take any place? Like, the main part is like around the house. When they put that time shift thing on it, we don't go anywhere else. And it's like, so you've got this really contained, dull story with no interesting visuals to bounce off it, and it is so dry. And yeah, I don't understand why. Well, what made Kenneth Branagh want to direct it, and I don't know what the audience is it for either. Because if it's a kids movie, then spend £20 million or $20 million and make something that is passable. Make a Lava Girl and Shark Boy, whatever, and you don't spend $125 million trying to make something that has no appeal to anybody who may be over the age of 9.
Well, we've having a young child, a young female child as well, in the golden age of the Disney Channel. We saw a lot of like the Disney Channel movies, didn't we?
Movies. Disney Channel original.
Yeah. And a lot of them were better, more entertaining, and better acted than that.
The High School Musical movies.
Why did even the Wizards of Waverly Place movie was fucking great?
Yeah,
why did everybody in this film have an odd accent?
Yeah, that really accents really fucking annoy me in movies, and especially when they're all over the place and they just fucking were. Why was Judi Dench putting on a growly voice?
I'll be honest, I maybe understood 3% of what Judi Dench said, and that is probably being generous. I just don't get it.
It's tough.
When it finished, I just thought to myself, Kenneth Branagh's a bad director. You know, not he's made a bad film. He's a bad director. Started having a look back at his films and found out, yes, Kevin Branagh's a bad director.
Well, he's insanely inconsistent. I think it's like Murder on the Orient Express.
Brilliant,
it's a good film. You know,
is there an argument that he can't direct things if he's not in them?
Well, I don't know. He directed Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, and he was in that. And that's just one of the most anomalous fucking things.
God, did he direct Thor?
Yeah.
Christ.
But it's like I said in the thread, in the WhatsApp thread, it's like, when I was watching it, I actually Googled Kenneth Branagh divorce payout, because I thought that might be the only reason why he would have actually wanted to direct it, just for a payday.
I mean, he was interviewed on Kermode and Mayo, and he said that his nephews liked the books and turned him onto them, and he quite liked the idea of a like kind of James Bond with fairies kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, all right, fair enough, maybe you didn't make that.
I would also add into that, if somebody turned around to him and said, right, we're pitching a movie here, and it's kind of like, it's James Bond, you'd be like, all right, yeah, with fairies, like, that is the worst thing on a fucking spinning wheel of shit that it could come up with. You found the worst. What James Bond with fucking paedophiles is better than James Bond with fairies.
Even the fairies were shit though. Like, if they're fairies, why do they have to have mechanical wings? Just let them be fairies.
There was a whole lot. Why were they in literally costumes that it seems like Branagh found somewhere?
I don't even get the James Bond angle because I didn't feel it at all.
No, James Bond's charismatic and that kid's a cunt.
To be clear to anyone who hasn't seen Artemis Fowl but knows Mark's feelings on kids, that's actually not an overestimation. He's a fucking twat, is that kid.
Yeah.
Like, from start to finish. Just like, at the end, when he's like slow motion walking to the camera with the glasses on and the fucking suit, and he just leaves his mate in the house. He's just fucking waving out. I mean, what the fuck was that character about as well, by the way? Like, his little friend. Like, I mean, she was in, like 3 scenes? And just every now and then it's kind of in the background of shots. But no, I mean, I wanted to punch him repeatedly for like the whole, just that introduction scene where he's talking to the teacher and like pointing out the fact that that chair was actually a piece of shit and stuff. It's like, wow, we're going to have to do some work here to make you likable. And it's like the only likable thing is that dad's been kidnapped and he wants to save his dad. And that, fair enough. But every other thing that he does is pure cuntistry. I don't like. Is there a 2-hour cut of this film that actually makes sense? It feels like as soon as like they. But I mean, it feels like they were like 2/3 of the way through editing. Then COVID happened, and they were like, right, we're going to postpone the release, and then they just forgot that they announced a new date for it and just stuck this out. Awful fucking film, like awful film. Disney usually have some sort of, minimum bar 2.5 stars or something like that. And I mean, I said myself in the WhatsApp, like, it's 95 minutes long, guaranteed minimum 2 stars. No fucking way. This will be one of the worst films of the year.
This is, for the past 2 years, I have been pretty much spot on with my letterboxing, but I was spotty for like the 3 or 4 years before that. This is one of only 2 movies to get half a star for me in that time, and the other one was The Smurfs. It's just, what the fuck were they doing? It's so boring, yet also annoying.
But that's it for a 95-minute film. It got to maybe 25 minutes in. I was actually struggling to focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just couldn't. My mind just kept on going somewhere else because it was totally not engaging. And most of that is to do with the main character and him just not being charismatic and you not caring whatsoever. But the world isn't even that attractive either. It doesn't, like, you would think when you go into the underworld and the fairies and the trolls and the whatever, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that'll at least be visually striking and get you in a little bit. But no, it was dull and boring and sort of just, there was no spark, there was no like creativity. It felt it was just so lackluster.
It was also, as well, even like trying to make you feel sympathetic to the kid by saying, oh, maybe he's like this because his father isn't there, or anything like that. And then have a really long sequence of his father being really nice to him and his father being his best friend and him wanting to spend all his time with him.
Any kid whose best friend is their parent is always going to be a twat.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Get a fucking life.
Yeah. But it just, the whole, none of it. There's not a bit of it that is magical or whimsical or nice or anything like that. Everything in it is just. It's
ugly. It's an
yeah,
ugly film.
and God, the amount of time they kept saying, that it was like, for a start, one, we get it. It's set in Ireland.
Oh,
Stop.
yeah, that hilarious sort of great voiceover when they were saying it's the most magical place on earth,
Ireland.
I'm like, God. But it's even like they're saying like it's on IMDb. The sort of the slug line is Artemis Fowl, a young criminal prodigy, hunts down a secret society of fairies to find his missing father. Now, this whole young criminal prodigy, you do not see that whatsoever. Give me a montage of him doing something.
I love it. At the end where he's like, I'm a criminal mastermind. It's like, what?
What have you done?
Yeah.
that makes you a criminal.
Show me him stealing things.
Yeah. He's not,
I haven't.
Makes him a criminal.
But he's not a criminal mastermind to start off with, is he? You don't know anything about what
No.
his dad does.
Is it either established that his dad's a criminal either?
I mean, he steals shit and stores it so it can't be used or whatever.
Again, it just... And then at the end, that bit with the fucking fairy flying on the side of the fucking helicopter.
Subtle.
And it's like, oh yeah, no one's going to fucking know about the fairy underworld now, are they? Because radar doesn't exist, you pricks.
What a criminal mastermind plot that was as well, to break Josh Gad out. I know, Dad. Let's get a helicopter, fly it over that place, and chuck a rope down.
Yeah.
Genius. You are a criminal mastermind, Artemis.
I also think that Disney don't really like Josh Gad anymore, but he's in contract with them for about 5 films, so they're just trying to get rid of him. That's the only reason why he was cast in that role, because you cannot think of like a really hard thing, a hard sort of dwarf, and think of Josh Gad. The two things don't go together.
I've heard a rumor that Josh Gad is going to have a show on Disney Plus. He's in talks to do a show for Disney Plus at the moment. Okay. Where he's got that thing at the moment that he's doing during lockdown where he's getting together all the cast of what is it. There's a rumor that he's going to be doing like a retrospective review show of old Disney movies.
That'd be interesting.
So that just falls more into the fact that, like George says, Disney have him under contract for something.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? Like while we were watching it, I was just about to say how embarrassed I am for Josh Gad, but then I looked at his IMDb and the man has done some shit films.
I like Josh Gad.
I like Josh Gad, but he's done some shit.
Yeah. But another thing that Vin, you know people in Hollywood, and we know you're listening. Could you please tell people that if you are making a film and you have a scene in Ireland or the film is set in Ireland, not every fucking piece of music has to have either a fiddle or a pan fucking flute. It's verging on racism. It is fucking so annoying.
Oh, breaking news.
Is it the poster for The Hitman's Bodyguard 2?
No, but that's very important. The Oscars have been pushed back to April 25th.
Oh, wow.
Eligibility has now been extended from Jan 1st, 2020 to Feb 28, 2021.
Ooh.
I mean, that's Oscar voting will run from the shortlist voting will run from Feb 1st to Feb 5th. Nomination voting will run from March 5th to March 10th, with nominations announced on March 15th. And final voting will run from April 15 to April 20.
Ooh, and have you seen the finally announced the Academy Museum opening?
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
The Academy Museum opens on Friday, April the 30th.
Oh, well, that's interesting timing.
Yeah, 5 days after.
Jesus wept. So, Oscar season, I suppose what this means then is, I mean, like, do festivals delay? This feels definitely shit for Artemis Fowl.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, it's an absolute piece of fucking garbage.
Yeah.
our audience poll just so we can just confirm how shit it is. Let's find it. Artemis Fowl, definitely not shit, 10%. Fuck you, Dan. Touching Cloth, 0%, and shit, 90%.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
fair
I'm
enough.
really sorry for
I
people
don't.
that like the books.
No, I don't.
Why?
Cause
Because it's like if someone's really connected with that book, I mean, I've never read them, so I don't know if they're any good and if that would be a thing that would happen. But like, it shits all over it. It's like if Harry Potter the movies had been crap, people would be crushed.
yeah, but then J.K. Rowling wouldn't have platform to bash trans people on right now. So brings a room boots.
Amazon will pick it up as a fucking TV series in a couple of years' time, and it will get the treatment it deserves. I'm sure.
I could see Artemis Fowl getting a sequel on Disney, but them going, you know what, you got paid for the last one? Yeah, you need to give us that, and we're forcing you to make a sequel. And Josh Gad writing, directing, and starring in it.
And do you know what as well? I noticed some lovely film grain watching it, and was like, was this fucking shot on film? Of all the fucking films that are able to be shot on film, was Artemis Fowl shot on film? Yeah, it fucking was.
Fuck off.
It just anyway. So yeah, so the Oscars now then. So like the festivals. So usually you have Telluride is like and Venice are around about the same time in late August. Then you got Toronto in September. You've got London in October. I think New York Film Festival's in early October. What the fuck happens now? Do these all just get delayed out to like November to January or something like that? I mean,
you'd think so, because social distancing won't be completely gone, so therefore they've got to try and get to a place where those restrictions are not so much of a hindrance. So if they do go to sort of your November, your December, then hopefully, maybe, fingers crossed, they can actually pack out a cinema. Whereas in August, September, they're probably not going to be able to.
It's just Oscar season is going to be so fucking long if any of these festivals do start in like August, September. But then if they do, will film studios want to have their stuff show? You know, like if you've got, I mean, Parasite debuted at Cannes and won the Oscar for Best Picture, but it's these films don't often have that long a fucking tail to them. You know, it's like Mank is supposed to be coming out on Netflix in October, and it's like, well, does that get delayed now? Because like that's gonna have to stay in the conversation for so long in order.
This does. What I'm hoping this does, it kills that a little bit. The idea that the only films that are released in the 6 weeks leading up to awards season are the ones that get considered, because it had gotten boring. The formulaicness of the way that film releasing happened had just gotten a little bit silly, because I think it had also started to bleed into the minds of voters.
Yeah.
If something brilliant came out in September, it's like, well, it can't be that good. Why wasn't it out in January?
You're still really sore about A Star Is Born.
I am very sore about A Star Is Born.
No, but I mean, A Star Is Born is a perfect example of this, where
in years to come, right, when people have realised that nobody has watched the Gary Oldman movie that he won the Academy Award for, because people can't even name what it is. Exactly. You look at it like going, what? Oh yeah, now. Yeah. The Churchill one that he won for.
Darkest Hour.
Yeah. He won it for playing Churchill. Nobody's seen it.
I'm sure someone must have.
No.
What won Best Film?
I'm just wondering about
Spotlight.
that now.
I mean, Spotlight is.
Not Spotlight, Green Book.
Yeah, no.
Well, Green Book won the year that. Fuck yeah.
Did it?
Did you?
I mean,
but then
won a better film than Green Book.
To be fair, Green Book played Toronto. It won the audience award there, and that kind of started its path. So, you know, that kind of came out around about the same time as well. But Yeah, I mean, the thing is that was very much a people voting for it and going, right, well, I've done my bit to fight the good fight.
It's not very. It's a fucking white savior movie. It's horrible when you look at it in a sort of racial context.
Yeah, but the people of a certain age felt good about voting for it for that reason.
Well, it's like the fact that The Help is like the number one fucking trending movie on whatever streaming platform it's on at the moment, and that's just white people going, I'm going to watch this. This makes me feel good about it. And like all the black people that are commenting on it are going, no, this is part of the problem.
Even Jessica Chastain, who's in it, said, it's not the movie you need to watch right now.
It's like watching Driving Miss Daisy and thinking you're doing your bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Miss Daisy since 1991.
Do you reckon?
No.
It just Green Book. Yeah, I like Green Book, but man, there were better fucking films. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens now. I mean, I think from a film release point of view, it now basically clears the runway for just there to basically be blockbusters between when cinemas open in December. Then there can be a good few months of getting awards season contenders out while also still having a good mix of blockbusters playing catch up as well. Nothing's shooting at the moment, but they will be soon. Actually, I saw a thing today that Jurassic World Dominion, I think the next one's called, is going to be resuming shooting shortly. And I saw somebody tweeting, it's going to be interesting to see a Jurassic World film shot like an Antonioni production, which made me laugh. But yeah, it's the way this is going to free up film schedules now is going to be fascinating. I mean, like, do I think West Side Story moves from Christmas this year? No, but things that were maybe planned to open within a couple of weeks of it that were also Oscar botherers will probably fuck off to January and February. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out, but for UK audiences, I think it will be good because I think we'll be much more likely to get the films around about the same time as the US. It's like we usually have this kind of divide where the US kind of get it with these films around Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then we get them January, February. Now, I think it will just be big films Thanksgiving and Christmas, which we'll also get, and then the Oscar films in the early part of 2021, which we will also get. It's interesting, though. It's interesting.
The Mulberry Boys, every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop fast. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever? Putting 4 and 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, The Dark Knight has got like all the orphans, and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I see ghosts, y'all. I see ghosts.
What happens to all of us, man?
Oh, you seen them too?
Yeah.
Dad come to you at night. Stormy Norm comes to me damn near every night. Now he talked to you like he talked to me. Yeah, come on. I don't think so. Come on.
Fist up.
Get in there, David. Get in there. Put your fist up, David. Come on. Go, you too, Van. Go ahead. Fist up, man.
Come on, Paul.
Let's move on to a film which may well have some Oscar talk next year. It's going to have a long old fucking road to April 25th or whenever that was. I mean, fucking wow. But could Delroy Lindo get anything for Spike Lee's The Five Bloods, which stars Delroy Lindo, Clark Peters, Jonathan Majors, Isaiah Whitlock Jr. and others. So this is the story. Oh, Chadwick Boseman's in it as well, but not for as much of it as you probably think. So The Five Bloods. Vietnam vets come back to Vietnam, ostensibly to find the remains of their old commanding officer, Stormin Norman, played by Chadwick Boseman. But they also want to find some gold that they found. And so begins an odyssey of gold making people mad and some of the most fucking surprising gore you may ever see. Well, I wasn't ready for that bit, I must say. Becky, The Five Bloods, thoughts?
It's an odd one because obviously, naturally, you're going to compare it to something like BlacKkKlansman because
Spike Lee movie that came out a couple of years ago. Yeah, fair
and
enough.
it's nowhere near the level of BlacKkKlansman. It's not as polished. It doesn't make as much sense. It's very chaotic with what's going on. But it's unfair really to compare it to BlacKkKlansman in a way. You know, it's a Netflix movie for a start, so that kind of comes into it. But it's also, they're different creatures, aren't they? I really liked it, but like I say, I couldn't not compare it mentally. I think the acting's all really good in it. Delroy Lindo is magnificent in it. He made me dislike Delroy Lindo, who I really like, because he acted being a dickhead so well. So does that. The guy that played his son, I thought he was really good, because obviously he comes into it as a bit of a late addition, but he was kind of the more engaging one, I suppose. He was quite a nice kid. He was quite charismatic. He was funny. Whereas the other lot were just like crotchety old men. So, but yeah, no, it was good. But yeah, the landmine scene, it goes in on the gore on that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking brutal.
With that scene, I kind of knew it was coming. It kind of like you felt the kind of the rhythm of what was going to happen, and it does. And then, but then when it cuts back to him, and he's just fucking screaming, and like just half of his body's not there. You know, I kind of laughed at first, just when like it almost felt a bit like a moment in Tropic Thunder or something like that, where it's just like they're like shout, bang, yeah. But then that it And yeah, I think Lee was probably intentionally playing with you there, but I very much agree there. Mark, what do you think?
It's very good. It doesn't feel its length, so it doesn't feel like it's a 2.5-hour movie, because it gets a good sprawling nature to it. I always like the fact that Lee, when he did Black Klansman, did it in a very much he used his voice, but you could tell he was being serious, if that makes sense, because he didn't use as many of the affectations that he can use within it. Whereas this, he's more a little bit off the leash, and he's going for it he's got a lot more. He's got an unbelievable amount of creative freedom, and Spike Lee always likes to operate within creative freedom. It's why his highest budget movie ever is still only around $50 million. But as well, he seems to be having a lot of fun with doing this and this, but still trying to tell a serious story. And I liked all of that. There's some interesting bits, like the idea of having, the older characters playing their younger selves.
Yeah, that was
it's an interesting choice, and I like it. I'll be honest, it didn't work for me, but I appreciate what Spike was going for there. The acting's all fantastic. I do think a lot of the characters are underdeveloped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which irked me. There's a lot of it that really worked for me. It's a really, really good film. But there's a lot of it that, personally, I think Spike was trying to say something, but I don't think it quite might say it, or I didn't understand it, maybe. There's one key moment I get with the crux of Delroy Lindau's character, of pitching him how they pitch him. I do think that the MAGA hat was too far.
Yeah, it was a bit too much.
It was too much.
I do quite like the moral muddiness of the movie, though. Like, they're not good guys, really. They're going to hunt for treasure, which really, it's kind of appropriating another country's money.
Yeah.
That should be given back. That should be given to the authorities. And obviously, there's the Delroy Lindo character, and he's representing a cross section of the population that I think maybe a lot of people don't think that black Trump supporters don't really exist, that Trump's just made them up, but they do.
And a lot of people think that they're all the Republicans.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you mixed his PTSD with gold fever.
Yeah.
So you had that. There was that. It was a little bit Treasure of Samadra in the fucking jungle. And I really liked that about it. But yeah, something else to talk about for a little bit.
George.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Spike Lee fan. In given the fact that he tells stories in a way that only he can tell stories, and I mean, yes, he can shoot the hell out of stuff, but it's the voice of Spike Lee that attracts most to his films, and I do see like maybe the start of the 2000s going on for a few years. I think he lost that for a bit, like sort of after the 25th Hour, that anger that he had in his earlier films sort of seemed to seep out a little bit, and yeah, those intelligent sociological lessons that he used to sort of carve out with his films, like these sort of high moral tales. But I really do think he has found his voice again, and either that be the current political climate and who the Americans do have as president, but for me it's the collaboration with Kevin Wilmot. So Kevin Wilmot's been a writer on his three last films: Black Klansman, Chirac, which I literally only watched yesterday, and The Five Bloods. And I think he's found his muse again with Kevin Wilmot, because he has that anger back, and he has those tales running through his stories. He's telling Spike Lee stories again.
Yeah,
He's making Spike Lee movies again.
He's a very intelligent and very entertaining storyteller in the way that he tells stories. Like you said there, John, he has a way of telling the stories, but in terms of he's such a film geek that he can do it in such a pleasant way, in the same way as Tarantino can do it, in the same way as Scorsese can do it. In that way, they are, I'm going to use that wanky phrase, they are such students of cinema that they can do this, but make it seem like their own voice by collecting from bits and throwing it out there. And Spike, he does that in such a wonderful way.
Absolutely, and I think stuff that people said about underdeveloped characters, etc., I think are valid arguments. But I mean, I had an absolute ball with this film. I think I maybe liked it more than Becky and Mark. And part of that, is Delroy Lindo. I'm a big Delroy Lindo fan, and he is absolutely incredible in this. I like the whole sort of the El Dorado angle and the sort of descent into madness that he goes through, and he has a piece to camera in this movie which is just electrifying. When you watch somebody that good just play with his craft, you cannot help but just applaud it. And I just love the whole vibe of it. Like, even like the environment that it's set, like, it feels hot, it feels sweaty, it feels very that feeling that you will get when you watch Apocalypse Now. And there's never a scene where people just aren't dripping and it feels humid and clammy, and that sort of environment that does turn people a little bit mad because they can't get any respite of it. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. I watched it on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, it did not feel 2.5 hours long. I liked what it was saying. I liked the way it was said. I mean, when you do get to that landmine scene, there was a part of me that thought, right, is the last hour of this film going to be a Wages of Fear style? They're trying to just get through this landmine without blowing up, because that would have been quite interesting. But I also did like the way that it went as well. It does embrace that chaos that it has, and I applaud it for that. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, nice. No, I mean, it's after Black Klansman being such a high point for me with the Spike Lee films I've seen, I suppose maybe ever so slightly mild disappointment would probably be the most appropriate way of describing Da 5 Bloods for me. It's weird that a film about the KKK is more entertaining than a film about Vietnam vets searching for lost gold. And maybe that's being a bit too broad. But I think that Black Klansman, it's the walnut with being smashed with a sledgehammer approach to what he had to say about race and how little things have changed, which is absolutely appropriate for Black Klansman. And if anything, I think I could have done with a bit more of that in some aspects with Da 5 Bloods. Like the first hour or so, there's an awful lot of kind of like talking about Black history and the plight of Black Vietnam vets in soldiers in the Vietnam War. I mean, you got that Hanoi Hannah who says that, what was it, like 10% of the American population were Black, but Black people made up like a third of the US.
11% of the population that were eligible to go to the Vietnam War were Black, and 36% of the actual GIs were Black.
Yeah, and I mean, so you got that bit. You got the kind of stunning scene where they're disagreeing with Stormy Norman. They've just heard about Martin Luther King, and they're like, "This is fucked. Why are we even doing this?" And then Stormy Norman's like, "No, we've got to do this." I thought that was a really good scene in its moment, but with like the larger narrative, it didn't actually mean all that much. It's it kind of gives you a bit of a false flag as to what the revelation with Chadwick Boseman's character is going to be. It's like, Delroy Lindo's hiding something about Stormin Norman, just because of the fucking trauma that's inflicted. So the fact that it's basically he just accidentally shot him. I mean, I get it. I get that is stressful, but from a film that's been kind of like holding back exactly what happened for a couple of hours, for it to just be that, it's a little bit dramatically anticlimactic, I suppose. But yeah, Delroy Lindo's fucking amazing. The other guys ever so slightly melt into the background a little bit, I think, because of how forceful Delroy Lindo is. But yeah, I mean, Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors acting when you've got that scene of him just sipping on the orange juice, just stood with them all looking seemingly down on him to give him shit about the fact that he's just turned up. His facial acting in that is incredible.
I think he's really good in it.
Yeah.
No.
I like the fact that Paul Walter Hauser just keeps turning up in random stuff and being great as well.
Yep, he's solid. It was nice to see him make it out alive. And yeah, I mean, like, there's the kind of the hopeful nature at the end, which contrasts quite nicely with how entertaining BlacKkKlansman is, but then how like depressing the ending is and thought-provoking the ending is. But just that. The people mover thing that Spike Lee uses a lot, that kind of shot where they're moving but they're not moving. I love what that in this. Just Otis and the lady Tian, or I think her name is, just kind of like smile. Oh no, the daughter like smiling at the camera is lovely. If the anger of the first half kind of played into the second half more, I think I would have liked it more in a way. Just the fact that the second half does basically get quite plotty. Yeah, it is about the twists and the turns, and they're decent. And I'll be honest, but I forgot Jean Reno was in it until he turned up again towards the end. It was like, oh shit, yeah, okay, he's the wrong and fair enough. But then again, nothing really surprising happens there. What's going to happen? Okay, Jean Reno is going to get killed. Right, great. It's a good film. It is a very good film. It is just Is
there a little bit of you that thinks it's a really good 4 out of 5 film? I thought I might have been getting a 5 out of 5 film.
Yeah.
I cram a little bit with it.
Yeah, I thought I was.
But it's really good.
Yeah,
I almost feel bad because it's really fucking good. And none of us have spoken about that scene with them in the club, moved dancing, the Apocalypse Now thing. Is just glorious. It's fantastic. Because every one of those, you're looking at them going, every one of you guys there looks cool as fuck doing what you're doing right now.
I didn't like that scene.
I loved it.
Quite cheesy.
I like the fact that it was cheesy. But I believed that those characters would do that.
Yeah.
I think...
And Melanie Thierry in anything is just a joy.
Yeah, I mean, I will say as well, like, Chadwick Boseman has a small part in this, but I do believe he is wasted in Marvel movies. Like, I've seen him in a few different performances, and he's way better than people think he is. Like, I thought he was tremendous in the small things that he actually had to do.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, because I think he's crap in the Marvel films. I think he's really one-dimensional. And then when you see him in something that isn't where he isn't playing Black Panther, and you go, oh god, he's a really charismatic actor.
Yeah, he was good in this. The brief amount of time that he was actually on screen he was very good. I was quite surprised by that. When I saw it was him, or remembered it was him, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's Chadwick Boseman. But yeah.
I love the really, really sort of put out there shifts in aspect ratio as well. They always work to a T.
Yeah, I bet you were loving that, Ian, weren't you?
Oh no, I mean that's it's very cummy yummy. That is, it's fantastic, and I will say as well. I mean, like it It looks fantastic in 4K. Just throwing that out there, and I bet it sounds incredible in Dolby Atmos as well. And yeah, it's great that Spike Lee's been given this money. Like, it must be like the biggest budget film he's done in at least a decade. Like, at least a decade.
It's his second biggest budget film ever.
After Inside Man?
Yeah, which was 45 million, which was the same roughly as this.
That's crazy. I mean, the fact this was 45 million, I mean, fair play. He gets its production value out the fucking wazoo. You think of Artemis Fowl costing, Artemis Fowl costs like 2.5 times as much, 3 times as much. And you get this. I mean, that's impressive. But no, I mean, the aspect ratio stuff was brilliant. I thought narratively it made sense. Kind of like the 16mm looking shit of like the 4:3 when they're like back in the day. Brilliant. Love the decision to not fucking de-age them or cast different actors.
See, I really enjoyed that because it made it feel more like reminiscent than just retelling.
I think that's what they were going for. It's just in their minds, isn't it?
It made sense sort of in the film. I'll be honest, it didn't work for me, but what I do think in my mind, I'm also in my brain, I'm saying, is that because I couldn't make the disconnect, and if they had have used younger actors, would it have pulled me further away from them? Probably. So I think it was just the fact that I was a little bit like, oh, all right, but wait, what? That's kind of threw me a little bit. I think on a rewatch, I think this film will go up for me, to be honest.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Sorry. I thought somebody was going to say something. Yeah, I could definitely see it going up on rewatch, but I am a little bit disappointed that I think Lindo aside, I don't think we're going to get Lee versus Nolan versus Fincher.
You may, because I mean, actually, we haven't spoke about it yet, but like, could this film be released at a much at a more prime time? It feels very now.
It's just, could you imagine Black Klansman being released now? That would be like what Get Out did in 16 or 17. I think it would be that level of zeitgeist. I think maybe the length does this film a disservice. I think like the fact that it's just not as biting for me.
No, I think that's the Abex. After we finished watching it, it didn't quite have the bite of Black Klansman.
That's it. I think that's maybe why I'm a bit nonplussed by it. It's because it's like you watch Black Klansman and it makes you rethink things, and it's very, like you say, it's very biting. It's a bit of a gut punch, whereas this isn't. It's a bit more.
But it's really fucking good though.
But I think as well, it's like it does have that entertainment value as well, though. Because I mean, you talk about Black Klansman. I know that but again, it's a black man infiltrates the KKK. That in itself is a hell of a lot more of a biting tagline than the Five Bloods, because you've got a hell of a lot more. You can actually drill into the comedic value of that as well.
Mm.
I suppose it's just the fact that, like I said, it's like the first hour, there's a lot of points being made, and like the footage at the start where it's almost like this 10-minute montage of scene setting, which is brilliant. And then the second hour, or like the last hour and a half, it is basically the plot. There's not an awful lot more, and I mean, like, I think Delroy Lindo really gets great shit to do there. And I mean, Isaiah Whitlock Jr. with the shit. I was waiting for him to do that all the way through the fucking film. Because, he's in one scene in Black Klansman and he does it very quickly. So, it's just like, you're just waiting. And that was brilliant. But yeah, that last hour and a half, it is, and fair play, it's got to tell a plot, but at the same time, it didn't really feel. It felt like it was going away from the stuff that it was saying, and I don't know. It was almost like, did he think, shit, I'm being a bit too angry, and I just need to tell a story here? Which I'm sure he didn't. I don't know. I wish it was angrier. And given the amount of fucking people who die in this film, you kind of expect it to be. And I will say one other mild criticism as well. I thought Delroy Lindo's, like, after they pull the son from the explosion, and then immediately it's like, right, fucking tie them all up, and like that turn there felt a little bit too quick to me. But I don't know if nobody else thought that might just be my interpretation of it. But it was weird. It's like, right, you just saved my son from this like landmine. Now I'm going to tie you all up.
I just think it played more into the fact that he is just absolutely fucking broken beyond repair by that point. Okay. And even something that emotional happening can't stop him from just going snap.
Yeah, right, fair enough.
Yeah, I think his mind's just completely on the gold and thinking like, okay, these guys can take my gold.
Mm. Yeah, literally the fact that he's waiting to just fucking his son becomes not his son because he's just gone. He's got gold fever.
Mm.
Fair enough. It feels like we're maybe wrapping up on that, so I'm gonna ask what everybody thought.
Ooh, definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit for me.
Might even want half a star talking about it, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because it's really fucking good.
Oh, fair enough. Yep, I am.
One thing I will say there is, as well, is fantastic use of Marvin Gaye's a cappella version of What's Going On.
Oh yes.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, the fact that he uses that version, not the original recording version, it is just, it's like, yeah, you get this. You get this. You're on this. Well played.
Actually, that's the thing about, actually, and I know we said we were actually singing up, but
no, it's cool.
Like, Spike Lee's scores always are incredible. The use of like the really dramatic like trumpets and brass instruments, they just amp up all the drama. I mean, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but like, yeah, his scores are very similar throughout his films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they just always add that bit of gravitas and that bit of extra oomph that I think is just, I actually love them. I could listen to them all day. Just like really like ominous, deep, like brass instruments do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, Terence Blanchard is one of his like key collaborators, and I like very much took off of what Bill Lee did before he kind of passed. Even though it makes me laugh, Spike Lee always talks about how his dad hates movies, and yet there he is doing like the music for some of his like early really important work. But yeah, no, absolutely, George. His his fucking sense of music is like maybe unparalleled with major directors.
Going back to say Black Klansman, but that Black Klansman theme just adds so much to that movie.
Just the way that you can do that with kind of brass, you can do that with guitar, like that theme is very, very flexible given the kind of like the moment of the score. It can be sad, it can be triumphant. It's no, absolutely.
Our audience poll. So I'm guessing Ian, you said definitely not shit, didn't you?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Our audience poll for that was definitely not shit, 79%. Touching cloth, 14%, and shit, 7%.
Okay. Shit, 7%.
Yeah.
Okay. Bit harsh. Right, George. I don't know how you're doing for time.
I'm all right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's do what we've been. Does anybody want to take a break? By the way, does anybody need the toilet or anything?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're such a dad, Ian.
I'm all right.
Go now, you'd be better off trying and then not missing it later.
No, it's not that. It's just like I know that if I drink during the podcast, I usually need a wee by now. So maybe that's just a comment on my bladder than anything else. I don't know, but fine. So let's do some what we've been watching. George, why don't you kick us off?
Well, to be honest, up until last Friday, I hadn't seen. I mean, I haven't watched a film up until last Friday, which was the 12th of June. The last film that I watched was on the 10th of May. Lockdown. It's just been a lot of TV, a bit of gaming, and stuff like that. I just have not had the motivation to watch films. But in the last 5 days? What is it? No, last 3 days I watched 8 films. So I started off. I mean, obviously that includes the Five Bloods and Artemis Fowl, but I want a bit of. I felt like watching a bit of Almodovar. And to be honest, it's a director that I haven't watched everything of. I watched a bit of, but I'm trying to fill in my gaps. And so I started off with Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, which I hadn't seen before. And this is a story of a young, mentally troubled person who kidnaps an actress to make her fall in love with him. Stars Antonio Banderas, a very young Antonio Banderas, who is so good in the film. But what I really enjoyed mostly is you can tell, as we're talking about Spike Lee, we're talking about Tarantino and Scorsese, but as a student of cinema, you can tell this comes from somebody who's watched a lot, because you have a hell of a lot of De Palma in there. You have a hell of a lot of like the Italian horror, even a tiny bit of giallo in there at the beginning, and it is unnerving and unsettling, but also quite charming at the same time. And that's a very, very tight, like a very thin tightrope to walk, because some of the people make very questionable choices, especially the lady who the actress who he kidnaps in the end. But yeah, it's a very interesting watch. It's only I think it's an hour and 45, so it's not too long. But if you haven't never seen Tie Me Down, I'd really, really recommend it. Obviously, the Five Bloods Artemis Fowl we've watched. And so I followed up Tie Me Down with another Antonio Banderas film, The Mask of Zorro, which I hadn't seen in absolute years. And damn, is that film good.
Any chance you watched it in 4K on iTunes? It's now
I did.
In 4K
it was $3.99 this Monday.
How does it look?
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks brilliant. I mean, if it's $3.99, definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
But like, it's just pure entertainment. It's like one of those very good action adventure movies. And even when watching
that since the cinema.
Honestly, it holds up. To be honest, I think it must have been at least 15 years since I've seen it, if not more. And like, even when watching it, I was thinking, this has a very Disney vibe to it, like those really good, like 12A Disney movies, like action adventure. And I kept on thinking, like, you can see the blueprints of Pirates of the Caribbean in it. And then when I went on IMDb, of course, it's written by Ted Elliott and the Pirates of the Caribbean crew. So you can actually see where they were getting their inspirations for Pirates there. But definitely watch it. Anthony Hopkins is fantastic. Antonio Banderas is very, very charismatic, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is really good in it, actually. I mean, she's smoking in it, but that's not it. But Martin Campbell shoots it with an inch of his life. It feels very old-timey, feels very sort of nostalgia-driven, which is really, really good. Next up, what did I watch? I watched, I was going to watch Crooklyn, but I didn't have the 2 hours, so I watched actually a film on YouTube called The Soul of the Game, which is a baseball film, which is starring Delroy Lindo, which was one of the main reasons of watching it, because I wanted to watch some more Delroy Lindo. And for those who like Delroy Lindo, I know last time I was on this podcast I talked about it, but he's one of the main characters in The Good Fight. Go watch it. But Soul of the Game is about Satchel Paige, who's played by Delroy Lindo, and Josh Gibson, who's played by Mykelti Williamson. and it's about the Black League baseball of the 40s, and when they were transitioning to sort of trade in black players into the Major League Baseball, which hadn't been done. Now, these guys were on the same team, well, in the same league, but Delroy Lind, Satchel Paige was in the same team as Jackie Robinson. Now, Jackie Robinson obviously was the guy who went to the major leagues and became a Hall of Famer, but Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson were the two best players of that league. Satchel Paige was like 42, but he was a pitcher. He was one of the best, and Josh Gibson at the time was probably the best baseball player in the world. But the reasons why they picked Jackie Robinson, and not to go back on anything like what he did in his career, but because he was a bit more of a vanilla choice. He was an army man. He was college educated. He was knew not to have a temper, knew not to drink, knew not to do whatever. So it's trying to understand where he's like, even though it was great that Jackie Robinson got this opportunity, that what would have happened if these two people would have got it, because they may have made more of an impact, or they may have actually knocked it back history a little bit of time. So it's a nice little film, which I say is on YouTube if you want to give it a watch.
Nice.
What else did I watch? I watched The Da Vinci Code. I don't know why.
Yes!
I heard you guys talking about it, and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And
You
for
got to
me,
watch
it's
two as well.
I don't know if I will, but like I like the Da Vinci Code book. It's trash, but it's a train station book. You pick it up, you read it on a train. It's a page turner, and I kind of like it for that. But the film is, I mean, for me, it's straight down the middle. It's like a 5 out of 10 movie. When it's on, I enjoy it, but it's totally forgettable. Like Tom Hanks is sleeping through it, Ori Tataru is sleeping through it. Some of the directorial choices that Ron Howard makes are just so obvious and kind of film schooly that you can't even understand how this guy's an established director. But when it's on, you get sort of wrapped up into the fairy tale of it all. And the last one is Chirac, which is, I mentioned before, which is a film a few years, 2015 from Spike Lee. And I don't know, I can't remember if you guys have watched it. Have you guys watched Chirac before?
Yeah.
We've
No,
not.
we were gonna this week.
Yeah, we were gonna this week. We
Around to it.
just didn't get around to it.
I
Innit?
freaking loved Chirac.
Good film.
It is incredibly watchable. I mean, the whole sort of rhyming aspect of the film and what it's having to say about Chicago and black culture and guns and like the oppressive nature of that city and of the race issues is dissected and entertaining. And you've got Samuel L. Jackson, who just sort of interlopes with these like sort of like Greek choruses, being just so Samuel L. Jackson that it makes Nick Cannon not seem terrible, which, to be honest, is actually decent in the movie, which surprised me. But it's led from its female cast, and all of them. I mean, it's wonderful to see just like the whole female empowerment in such a way that it's shown like how they literally do hold all the power. I mean, obviously the film is about trying to stop gang war, so the way the females try and stop gang war is by literally being abstinent from their partners and saying basically, if you're not going to be peaceful and not fight, you're not getting any. And it seems so trivial, but it is superly entertaining and quite powerful. But yeah, I mean, Chirac, Black Klansman, and The Five Bloods. There's three really, really good films, and I think Spike Lee's on a bit of a renaissance and a bit of a great little kick, which is probably to do with the environment that we live in at the moment, because he is such a unique and such an impressive voice.
Yeah, he's the right voice to be existent at the moment.
Absolutely, and he's the right person to make these sorts of movies, and I'm happy that he is. But that's it from me.
Okay, very good, nice one, George. That was a really fucking eclectic selection. That fair play. That's a good effort. Right, Mark, Becky.
Bex, do you want to watch Solo? I haven't watched anything Solo this week.
Have you not, you lazy bitch?
I am a lazy piece of shit.
You are.
Yeah.
No.
All right, you two, calm down.
I did. I will say, man, I watched The Day After Tomorrow.
Why?
Why? Because I like disaster movies, and it's because you got to bed and we hadn't had dinner for some reason. I don't know why. Or I hadn't had dinner. So I watched it with a bowl of shreddies and a cup of tea, and it was glorious.
That's tragic.
Fuck you, it wasn't. It was brilliant.
I've got images now of if we ever broke up or I died or anything, you just sitting in a bed, sitting in your pants, eating cereal for dinner and watching shit movies.
That'd be more you.
Crunching a cornflakes at every meal. Oh, lovely.
All photos are amazing with banana on.
The bowl of shreddies, sat here with a bowl of shreddies, sat, and I was like, right, what can I watch? Day After Tomorrow, yes.
Fair enough.
Loved every second of it. Go on, what you watched in your own?
On my own, I watched the end of Crybaby.
Did you just watch the end? Or did you watch the beginning?
I'd watched the beginning.
Right.
I mentioned this last week.
Okay.
I'd watched the beginning of Crybaby. I watched the end of Crybaby. Do you know what? It's actually really good fun. It's Crybaby. I remembered like liking it, but in like a it's really shit, but I liked it anyway kind of thing. It's actually really good. It's good fun. The hatchet face lady is a bit disconcerting, but apart from that, it's all good. Tracy Lord's in it. Yeah. The girl that plays the good girl is actually pretty good. The weird game of chicken they play at the end is hilarious, and Ricky Lake giving birth to a baby in the back of a car that's been like they're playing chicken and they're on the roofs, and it's just it's mad. It's a mad film, but it's actually really good fun. And obviously Johnny Depp back when he used to be pretty, so that's always good fun. I also on my own watched Ghost World, because when I finished Crybaby, it came up with a suggestion. People who watch this often watch these. So I was like, I haven't seen it. Why the fuck not? So yeah, I've not seen Ghost World in absolutely years, and probably was a lot more sympathetic to how annoying the characters are when I watched it last time, because I was closer in age. Watching it now as a late 30s grown up, you're just like, oh god, you're so fucking insufferable. It's like that meme that does the rounds every once in a while of Ariel out of The Little Mermaid saying, I'm not a child anymore, I'm 16, and it's like, you fucking are. They are so annoying in this movie. Scarlett Johansson less so, but Thora Birch is just so, oh god, yeah, really pissed me off. But there's some quite nice character development in there, and they go on a little bit of a growing up journey, and there's, it's quite nice. It's not as good as I remember it being, but hey ho. And that's it really. That's all I watched on my own.
We watched Ant-Man, didn't we, in our continuation of the...
We did.
What is it?
We've got the Civil War now.
Yeah, I've got Civil War, where it's pretty much plain sailing from now.
It is.
Ant-Man's still really entertaining, but feels quite insignificant.
It really does actually, yeah, because I think obviously when you've got gaps between the releases and you sort of, you do a bit of a rewatch, but not necessarily the whole fucking thing, it feels really lightweight, doesn't it?
Yeah, Michael Caine is still proves that he's possibly one of the best things in the Marvel universe.
When he's explaining things.
Yeah.
It's just fucking amazing.
Michael Douglas, you mean?
Michael Pena.
Oh, sorry, I think you said Michael Caine. I was like,
I thought you said Michael Caine as well, but I didn't say anything.
Michael Pena.
You need to stop just letting him get away with this shit, Ian, because that's why
I did say Michael Pena.
Yeah, but he thought you said Michael Caine, and he was just going to let you run with it.
Well,
just let you be wrong.
That's the power I have.
No, it's not.
It's
because
the
then
respect
you'll just get worse and worse, won't you?
It's not respect, Mark. It's because I feel sorry for you.
That's the respect I have.
No, you need to fucking call him out and make him look dumb.
We rewatched Inception.
That dirty bitch. Sorry.
not knowing that it was going to be coming back out in cinemas.
I mean, we'll probably still go watch it.
We'll probably still watch it anyway at the cinema because we're terrible people and we want the destruction of mankind. I
don't think we do we?
I don't know, but I think if we go and watch that at the cinema, some people will say that. we'll be so responsible for a second peek.
If they show Inception on your IMAX screen, it's going to have some Tenet footage. Apparently, it's going to have some other Warner Brothers like film footage. I imagine there'll probably be some Wonder Woman in there. That's going to be some fucking good watching.
Oh, I will absolutely fucking do that, yeah. Inception's great. It's just really high-class filmmaking. And it doesn't, even though over the past 10 years I've maybe watched it 6 or 7 times, it's still a really entertaining watch. It's still a really great film to watch. It still has a lot of punch within it. The acting's all great.
The great thing about it as well, though, is like whatever you've decided is the meaning of that movie from last time you watched it, you still fucking question it all the way through.
Yeah.
Where is he in a dream at the end still? You never see the top fall over. At what point, if he is still in a dream at the end, does he become in the dream? Is it all a dream? It just makes you kind of.
Also, well, I still have a theory of where I think he enters the dream, but at the end of it, I still say to myself, but you know what? I'm happy with thinking that he is back home, even though he probably isn't. So I have a version that I think is right and a version that I'm happy with in the same movie. We rewatched The Martian, didn't we? We
fucking did. It's great, The Martian.
I think The Martian is one of the most outright entertaining prestige horror movies, prestige Hollywood movies of the past decade.
It's magnificent.
So good.
He is so good in it as well. Like, it all hinges on him just being like this weird dickhead that's stuck on Mars. Like, he's just like bopping around, dancing to disco, planting potatoes, calling himself fucking Captain whatever and a pirate
Captain
and all
Blondebeard.
sorts of stuff. Captain Blondebeard. It's awesome. And I think I really disliked Matt Damon for quite a long period because, you know, it's something I do. And I think it was The Martian that actually got me
back round to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back and watch loads of stuff.
And then what other film did we watch this week, Max? What new film did we watch?
We watched a film called Hangman.
Does this have either John Cusack or Bruce Willis in it, or Nicolas Cage?
It has Al Pacino and the Loft's Carl Urban.
And what?
The Loft's Carl Urban.
The Loft. And Brittany Snow.
And Brittany Snow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a classic for the ages, guys.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie.
Depot sounds it. I can't wait.
Yeah. So what it's about, I think the film forgets this halfway through.
Yeah.
Is Carl Urban plays a
cop,
but he used to be an FBI detective, but then he demoted himself to being a cop.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Brittany Snow plays an investigative journalist who has been assigned to shadow him to do like an inside piece on the police force.
I think she displays some of the least investigative journalist behaviour.
Yeah.
Of any investigative. She's a worse investigative journalist than Tara Reid is.
Tara Reid is a magnificent archaeologist, so you wash your fucking mouth out. And Al Pacino plays a retired police officer who just comes out of retirement. He's literally retired for a scene. The whole crux of this movie is based on somebody crashes into his car at the beginning of the movie.
Not even crashes into it.
Just sideswipes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just knocks a bit of paint off.
When he appears to be parked in the middle of a traffic island.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that.
Yeah. This film makes no sense whatsoever. Al Pacino falls over at one point towards the end and dies after breaking up a fight that he probably shouldn't even break up.
I think he gets stabbed.
I don't think he does. I think he bangs his head.
No, I think the man stabs him.
I don't think he does.
I'm sure he does.
I don't think he does. I think he bangs his head. Yeah. It's not very good, is it, Max? But I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed watching it for most of it, and I will be very forgiving of like thrillery type movies like this. They don't have to do an awful lot for me to enjoy them. But one of the main things is that the bad guy has to have a tangible motive. And the motive for this man killing like a lot of people, and then carving letters into them, hence the name Hangman, because he's doing a word, is that Al Pacino.
Yeah, you're about to explain it, but you can't, can you?
Al Pacino was the policeman that responded when his dad had hanged himself because they'd been evicted. Al Pacino didn't evict them.
Nope.
He wasn't their landlord.
Nope.
He didn't do anything to him.
Nope.
He's literally just there.
But and because of that, you get a literal 3 or 4 minute monologue where Al Pacino is essentially apologising to this kid for not adopting him.
I know I should have checked in.
I'm sorry for this. Maybe if I had checked in, you hadn't have killed all these people. Maybe if I'd have been a bit nicer. And you watch it going in the flashbacks going, no, you seemed really quite nice to him.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. And the thing is, it's not short words, this man's spelling. Like I say, he's killed a lot of people.
It's a long word.
Including Carl Urban's wife.
Yeah.
And oh my God, right? And so what he does is he leaves the people for them to find, doesn't he? With the hangman letters and the gaps and stuff on a wall nearby or something, but the letter is carved into the person. And none of these people are related to anything that happened to him, are they?
Nope.
They're just random. Like, they haven't done him wrong while he's been in the foster system or anything like that. So that bit's out the window as well. But there's that one man that he hangs and carves the letter and leaves him alive for a train to smash into him.
Yeah.
Wow,
He's hanging from a pole thing that overhangs a railway line. And they work out that it's every 12 hours, is it?
Yeah.
And they see this model railway and they're like, oh my God, he's at the railway. So they go and they find this man, and Carl Urban's holding onto his legs and trying to lift him up so he doesn't hang, but they're also trying to somehow get him down so that the train doesn't smash into him. And they fail.
And they fail because Carl Urban's stood on top of the car doing it. Al Pacino gets in the car and just reverses it.
Yeah, he does.
And then Carl's going, I could have saved him, I could have saved him. And you can get Pacino going, nah, you couldn't.
Well, I think he reverses the car because it would have derailed the train. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
And while all this is going on, Brittany Snow's just in the background, just kind of looking at things.
Yeah, not really.
Ian, what have you watched? Because I bet none of it was better than Hangman.
Archer throws the killer off a staircase, but fatally strikes his head and dies.
Yeah, he dies by banged head.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the word, guys, is evictionem, right? So quite a lot of letters in there, which is the Latin for eviction.
Then why not just eviction?
Well, there's that, and also
more letters.
He didn't fucking evict him.
No, he didn't. It makes no sense. But he did have the lost Carl Urban.
He did have the lost Carl Urban.
Yeah.
With that, I want to leave you guys because I'm currently melting. So goddamn humid.
Okay, George, no worries, mate.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John.
Here's Film Her Movie. We are podsyndicate.com. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.
I think George was just so turned on by your talk of Hangman.
I think
he's off to find it now.
He's got to watch Hangman right now. Literally, Lauren is sat in the living room trying to watch something. George has pushed her out of the way, grabbed the remote and hit Siri and gone, Hangman.
Let's get fuck. Yeah, no, I can't. That was pretty good though.
Isn't it weird though? I can get so much more animated about a shit film.
What have you been watching, Ian?
Mark, can you do Restrepo for me, please?
Restrepo.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I bet he won't listen to this bit either. So, good work, George. That's funny. Okay, so I watched a couple of things. Found myself for some reason sinking a few hours into Gears of War 5 on the Xbox, and then just looking at myself and going, why? So that kind of killed a night or two of movie watching for me last week. So bad me. But yeah, I watched Princess Mononoke. Watched it with Donna and Lots. First time watch for both of them. It's interesting as well. Lottie's kind of like film watching tolerance has completely gone in the toilet since we stopped going to the cinema. If she's able to get through a film, it's in like 2 or 3 sittings, and it's really, really hard to keep her attention if like all it is in her head really is I want to play Minecraft. So, like she started watching Artemis Fowl with us, but like she was already against it because it starred a boy. It was a boy in the lead role.
I 100% agree with Lottie on this one.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, absolutely. And it was like fair play. Like 10 minutes in, she just got her iPad out, stuck her headphones on. It was like, yeah, all right, fair play, kid. You made the right decision there.
She did make the right decision.
But no, so we put on Princess Mononoke and we were just thinking, well, we were going to watch it, but she'd probably watch 20 minutes and then just like click off. Film's like 2.25 hours long, and she watched the whole thing start to finish with us, which I think gives a massive shout to what a film Princess Mononoke is. You know, visually it's incredibly striking. I'd only seen it once before, and it would have been my second year in uni because I was living in Corn Street. And my housemate at the time, Chris, and his girlfriend at the time, Jo, watched, and our housemate Al, who, Mark, you met Al at my stag and whatnot. He got fucking wandered off in Manchester, and that was a fun end to the evening.
Can I put out why that happened to Al? Because I went to a bar called Port Street Tavern in Manchester, and they had a beer on that was a ridiculously high percentage. It was ridiculous. It was stupid, like 18%, stupid like that. So we all got a schooner, a 3/4 of it, as our first pint in there. About 3 drinks later, I was like, what are you drinking, Al? And he went, are we still not drinking that blah? I was like, no. And he'd had like 4 pints of it.
Nice.
I was like, wow, have you just been drinking that? And he was like, yeah, I am smashed.
Oh, bless him.
That boy, sorry, just a bit of a tangent, but it's funny. It's this club we used to go to in Bristol, the Level, like the fucking basement bar once. I felt like I just next to him, and the guy was just like, yeah, that'll be £3 something or other. And then Al literally just gets his wallet out, digs around looking for like coins and whatnot, and just gets a load of receipts, and then just throws them in Barman's face. And it was like, and I just looked at him, and it was like, Al, what the fuck are you doing? And then the barman was just like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? And then he immediately just jumps up on the bar, and then got more receipts out of his wallet, and then just threw them at this guy as well. And he wasn't, like, the thing is, there's not a malicious bone in that boy's body. He was just so fucked that he honestly thought that if he threw receipts at the man would let him have his drink. Yeah, he's something else. But anyway, we all watched Princess Mononoke and the American remake of The Ring. Hell of a double bill that was. Sorry?
What did Lots think of that?
Oh, no, that was in uni, sorry. Jesus Christ, yeah. I can't wait for Lots to start watching scary movies, because she, every now and then, she's like, I wouldn't, like, what are you going to watch tonight, Daddy, or scary movies? She was like, I don't think it would be scary. What's it about? And then I tell her what it's about, and then she'd be like, that doesn't sound scary. It's just like, yeah, all right, fucking watch it then, kid. Like, let's watch 5 minutes of whatever the fuck I'm going to put on and see what you think. But anyway, so yeah, no. Sorry?
I'm going to show Isabel Hellraiser. Need to find it.
Oh, I can't deal with those films. Yeah, the fucking they wig me out. The Hellraiser films.
Yeah.
They're fucking terrifying. They're just Anyway, Princess Mononoke. Yeah, it's visually very rich. The story's super compelling. I like the fact that it kind of like you think it's going to be about the boy, but then as it goes on, it becomes more and more about Princess Mononoke, and I love how that develops. It's Miyazaki's obviously made some fucking seminal films, but it's really up there as Princess Mononoke. Just fantastic film.
Isn't that Miyazaki's favourite of his movies?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I've read that somewhere that he thinks it's his. No, not his favourite. He thinks that's his best movie.
It's lovely. It's Princess Mononoke. It looks so beautiful. The story is. You can show it to a smaller child and they'll get one thing out of it, and then as you gradually get older, the actual sort of themes come more into play. The environmental stuff and all that kind of stuff. But what I love about Miyazaki's movies is generally the protagonist is female. It's some badass girl that's just really capable, and I love that about it. They're not like superhero girls or anything like that. They're just fine at doing stuff, like in the same way that a boy protagonist in a kid's movie would just be, there wouldn't need to be anything special about him. He would just be doing boy stuff, and it's really sort of, it's not a big deal that they're girls to the story. It doesn't matter. They could be boys. It wouldn't make any difference. It's just he chooses to have girls as his protagonists, and I really love that about Miyazaki's movies.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're either girl protagonists or protagonists that he personally really identifies with. So, I mean, as weird as it is, like Porco Rosso, it's like it's a man pig, but it's because he really fucking likes planes and he likes adventures. So that's who he is. Then The Wind Rises, it's like a guy who we just kind of felt a kinship with. But then you've got Ponyo, you got Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Nausicaa, all of these films, which
Moving Castle ostensibly is about the wizard Howl. Put it in. It's about Sophie.
Yeah, totally, 100%. It's I really want to try Lots on some more Ghibli. It's like Ponyo. I tried her on that a while back, and she just didn't really connect with it. But I wonder now. And it's like, frankly, I kind of need to get a film watching game back a bit for when the cinemas reopen again. It's like we all want to go and see Mulan. We've all said yes, we'll go see Mulan. And I mean, it's interesting outside of like the film Twitter bubble and whatnot. I said to Donna, what do you think about going to the cinema? And she was like, yeah, fine. What kind of measures are they putting in place? I was talking about like social blocking up, cordoning off roads and like temperature checks and whatnot. And and she was just like, oh, yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah.
It's just outside of that bubble. And I think also what percentage of film Twitter don't have to go out for their jobs.
Yes, I have noticed that today with an awful lot of criticism being thrown at the retail sector. And it's like, we have to go to fucking work, dickheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick tangent on that. Yes, people are queuing outside Primark. People haven't been able to buy, maybe not been able to buy clothes for months. Kids can grow up fucking fast.
Not only that, in 3 months' time, I would say there will be more people that will have either come out of lockdown, having lost weight or having gained weight than have stayed the same weight as they were when they were in lockdown.
Yeah, definitely.
And therefore, there's also I think if people want to start getting back to some semblance of just not getting back to normality, but doing something that just feels normal for a case of the sheer mental health aspect of it. Is that. And I think
if they're queuing outside of Primark, as long as they're staying 2 meters apart and they're following the rules, who fucking cares?
The thing there is, if you don't want to go and you don't feel comfortable, then don't go. But don't go people who might need to go or might want to go, but are doing it within a safe distance. Don't call them fucking arseholes or say why they're doing it. Because I'll tell you why they're doing it. Because A, they want to. And B, if retail didn't open now, there's a strong possibility retail wouldn't have been able to open. And then that's an awful lot of people on the jobs market. You know, it's you can't take away a quarter of businesses' earnings in a year and expect them to be still there.
No.
It's just we live in a capitalist society, and no matter what your thoughts are on that, if things are to function, we've got to start doing these kinds of things, and if it's done safely. Like if it's done with the 2 meters, then fair play. My worry is when the government say, okay, it's going down to 1 meter, and then it's I'll be honest, I'll be wearing a fucking mask everywhere.
Well, to give an example, we have in my store, which isn't a huge store, we can only allow 9 people in. This last bit of the tangent I'll do. We can only allow 9 people in at a time. That's if we've got 2 members of staff. If we're 3 members of staff, we can now 6 in. I have a hand sanitizer station at the front of the store. There's hand sanitizer all around the store. There is gloves if people want to put gloves on as well. We're all wearing gloves. We have masks that we can wear if we would like. And it is the shop is cleaned so regularly, and we are working on limited duties. So there's things that we would normally be doing that we quite simply can't do because we want to have somebody at the front of the shop where anybody comes in saying to them, could you please sanitize your hands? If they don't do that, they don't get in because it keeps our unit as safe as possible.
The only thing additionally that you could do would be to insist on masks, and you can't do that.
You can't do it because there's certain things like skin problems and respiratory problems and all sorts of things. And also as well, a lot of our customers are of Asian descent and wear face coverings, burqas and hijabs and things like that. And I'm going to say to somebody, how does that work? And plus it's not masks, it's face coverings.
I mean, that would count as a face covering.
It's face covering, yeah. But then there's so much that goes on with it that, again, like we say, some semblance of normality has to start creeping back in. And as much as that is for people's welfare.
Yeah. I was talking to a customer about it today and sort of explaining our situation. And obviously I've been back at work for over a month now. Today didn't feel weird to me. Yes, we locked the door, but it's not really a high traffic store anyway, is it? It's a low volume, high value business. But for you, obviously, it must have been really weird going back.
It was odd, the fact that I have spoken to more people between 10 and 11 today than I'd spoken to in 3 months.
Yeah.
You didn't get anyone giving you grief or anything, did you?
What, about opening? No, not about opening.
Well, they won't, will they? Because they're there.
That doesn't stop people. No, but it was. It's going to be a strange few weeks getting back into it, and without question, that there's going to be at some point. I work at a big shopping centre. At some point, there's going to be a bit of a blah from blah has got blah, and then it's right. How does that affect everything else?
I honestly don't think it will now.
Oh no, there's never going to be another lockdown.
No.
That's
I just can't see it. I can't
afford it.
The country couldn't survive it.
You could do localized lockdowns, but they'll restrict it to like individual towns, or I could see even maybe fucking like streets. You know what I mean? Like,
a city will not get a lockdown.
No, won't happen.
And it's like, oh right, everyone who lives on here has got to got to self-isolate because blah from number 23's got coronavirus. We don't have any contact whatsoever with our fucking neighbours.
It would be, let's say, the street we live down. If Track and Trace came out and it turned out that number 1, 2, 3, and 4 of where we live, all contracted it, it would be right. That's a hell of a coincidence. Or if number 1, number 6, number 7, number 12, and number 14 got it within like a few days, but there was no contact between them, it'd be right. Something's happened, and the mailman's had it or something like that.
Bloody bin men.
Let's see him first.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Nice. No, but yeah, I don't know. It just the thought of actually maybe being able to go to the cinema in 4 weeks' time to watch Inception. You know, that's exciting. Honestly, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I will go out. I will support. I will happily watch Inception in the cinema if it means I'm out in the cinema. Kind of looking forward to seeing if anybody programs any other kind of older films for a week or so as well. So anyway, so my other what I've been watching this week, did manage to catch up on a Spike Lee film I hadn't seen previously, Mo Better Blues. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's on Sky Cinema and Now TV if anyone's interested in the UK. So right from the start, Flavor Flav talking over the Universal logo, big fan of that. And yeah, it's Spike Lee, just kind of like a bit more of a loosey-goosey kind of freewheeling self, just like jazz is, really. You know, it kind of feels like the structure of the film kind of mirrors the music, really. It's so Denzel Washington kind of heads up a band that plays at a club that's run by John and Nick Turturro. His saxophonist Wesley Snipes is kind of getting ideas above his station. You know, they have rows, but it never really comes to anything. And Washington is juggling a couple of women, and it's about him and like how he doesn't really seem to be able to make any firm decisions in life. But then it's also about his best mate, played by Spike Lee, who's his manager, who's also a gambling addict, and he's constantly trying to kind of like gamble his way out of trouble, and hide from those who are looking for money off of him. It's just kind of all over the place, really. But then like the start and the end are this great kind of circular kind of moment, which I really enjoyed. It's like, it feels like the film, once you get to the end of it, it's like, okay, that was the point of the film. I understand that. I like that. But it kind of takes its time getting there. It's about 2 hours long, and there's kind of extended musical sequences which are great. There's this one song in there where they're kind of like trying to, kind of talking about the corniness of love songs and how they don't really mean anything, which is fantastic, which was co-written by Spike Lee. It's a good time. It's a good time. I believe it was the film that he did straight after Do the Right Thing.
It was.
Yeah, and it's like, it does feel like the pressure valve being kind of loosened a bit, and just trying to go for fun and laid back, and it works. It's a good time as Mo Better Blues. Is it one of his classics? No. Is it a really entertaining watch? Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay, so man, fucking hell, it's nearly 9 o'clock. You guys all right to kick on?
Yeah, all good.
Cool. Okay, so
hey, honey, how was your day?
I think there's someone following me. What do I do?
Okay, don't come back here, not yet. I'll meet you somewhere. Central Square Mall. We can be sure.
Okay, I'll meet you at the Happy Burger place.
I'll be there as soon as I can.
Do you think someone knows?
No. No one knows. I'll see you soon.
Love you, Dad.
I love you too.
Silent Hill Revelation is written and directed by Michael J. Bassett and stars Adelaide Clements, Kit Harington, Carrie Ann Moss, Deborah Kara Unger, and others. So this picks up the story, what's it, like 8 years later or something like that. And Sharon is now known as Heather. Her mum, a kind of like very short cameo from Radha Mitchell, has given her back to Chris, who is now Harry. They are running away from the Order, who are looking to take Heather to enable themselves to get out of Silent Hill. But she is drawn to Silent Hill. She doesn't remember anything of what happened in the past, but she is drawn to Silent Hill, and she is accompanied there by Kit Harington.
Kit Harington, Christopher Catesby Harrington, to give him his correct name. And Adelaide Williams Adelaide Clemens is not Michelle Williams.
It's blown your mind, Kit Harington's full name, hasn't it?
I knew it was Christopher Catesby Harrington, though. My God.
Yeah.
That's her name.
And yeah, Adelaide Clements is the to a weird degree the spit of Michelle Williams.
She is, yeah.
It's
an equivalent.
Yeah. Like Michelle Williams type for this role, but she's a bit too old. Have you heard of cloning?
Oh yeah.
We went a bit wrong.
I mean, to be fair, Adelaide Clements does sound like a fake name, so I wouldn't be surprised. And has she ever been in anything again?
Well, exactly. Maybe it's like in what's that movie with ScarJo in it? The Island. Maybe it's like that. They just cloned her just in case they ever needed a Michelle Williams type.
And then they just put her back into deep storage.
Yeah, that's fine. If Michelle Williams ever makes a movie where there has to be like her younger self, like flashbacks and stuff, she's got, just take her out of the freezer.
There you go. That'll work.
She's in Great Gatsby.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, she's Aussie, is she?
She's what?
Is she Aussie? I was just thinking, I'm pretty sure that film was shot in Australia, and I'm gonna have a look now. Born and raised in Brisbane. There you go. So what's she? Okay. No, she's doing all right for herself. Wow, she's Merla in Voltron Legendary Defender.
Nice.
That's a hell of a thing. Man, yeah, fair play. She's got some fucking credits. Good on her. Fair play. She's still working. Okay, good. So, Bex, what did you think of Silent Hill Revelation?
I absolutely love Silent Hill Revelation. I have always and will always love the first Silent Hill movie because I think the imagery is great in it. I love the story. I love the world of the Silent Hill movies and the mythos behind it. But as I don't know whether I've mentioned, but Silent Hill 3 is my favourite game ever. The story of it, the actual gameplay, as you're playing through it, solving the puzzles, all that kind of stuff. The controls, going back and playing it now, are shonky as fuck, but at the time it wasn't an issue. And I just love the game and the story of the game, and this sticks so fucking close to the story of the game. There's bits in it where you're like, oh god, I remember this bit in the game. It's just crazy how closely they've managed to stick to the game. As I think I mentioned when we were talking about it before, her aesthetic in this game of the short skirt, black tights, sort of pulled down socks over boots kind of thing, that was my look for quite a long time. That used to be my aesthetic, and it was because I love the game so much. But it's so bang on. Just the way that the film looks is so bang on to the game. The only criticism I would have of it is they could have maybe done with sticking not quite as closely to the game for the look of the Darker Lesser. Because it looks a bit daft. Like they could have done it without black fucking lipstick and stuff like that. They could have done it a different way. It works in the game. It doesn't work as well in the film. She doesn't look menacing. She just looks silly. But I mean, that's a very, very minimal complaint, I think. I love it. I absolutely love it. And what I am going to do at some point when either Mark's not here or goes for a nap or something along those lines is I'm going to find there's a playthrough of Silent Hill 3. Well, there's numerous playthroughs of Silent Hill 3 on YouTube, and I'm just going to sit and fucking watch it.
Nice.
Watch someone else play it because I can't get my head around the old control system. But it's fantastic. For someone that loves the game, it's a fantastic movie.
That was really positive. I like that. So, Mark, as someone who doesn't have an affinity for the for the game, what were your thoughts on rewatch here?
I mean, it's not as long as Silent Hill, which is good for me, because Silent Hill's really long. I think it lacks a lot of the atmosphere, I think, of the first one, which bothers me. I get it, you have an affinity because you have played what is it? I don't at all.
Even like the bit in the mall at the start before they even go to Silent Hill, it's like you're watching it going, oh, I see what you did there. And the Robbie the Rabbit everywhere.
But I don't know who Robbie the Rabbit is.
It's the fucking rabbit that's got blood
Right,
all
but
over
I
it.
don't know who he is. But I'm saying, can you see, if you didn't know any of these things, you'd be there going, huh, he's boring.
He is boring, yeah. He's not in the game.
No, he's boring. Martin Donovan's in it. That's always good.
Yeah, taken too soon in this film, isn't he?
Yeah, he's taken too soon.
Detective Dipshit.
Yeah. Carrie-Anne Moss, you kind of go, oh, so your post-Matrix career went well.
Yeah, when she got that call for Matrix 4, she must have just been like, yes. And I got a phone up and went, kids, we're eating this weekend. Oh, that's really mean. I mean, you're right, but that's mean.
Do you know what? I've watched this film so many times and I didn't even realise it was Carrie-Anne Moss.
No.
In seconds, I went, Carrie-Anne Moss?
Yeah, I know.
No, because I thought you guys didn't watch Lost, did you?
No.
I thought she was this character, Elizabeth Mitchell, who plays Juliet on Lost. So when it came up Carrie-Anne Moss at the end, it was like, Jesus.
The thing is, you know when something bothers you in a movie that shouldn't bother you in a movie?
They're not wearing earpieces or anything.
No, they're not. But things that bother you that shouldn't bother you. All I was thinking was, so they've moved Leia from where they were before, right? They've moved out the church, right?
Oh, Leia.
Where did they get the raw materials to make all of those things? Because they're trapped in Silent Hill. Where did they get the drapes from, Becky?
Why does it matter so much, Mark?
Because these things have to make sense, and they don't.
Maybe Valtiel gave him them.
It seems all a little convenient.
There's plenty of houses they could have ransacked.
I said this when we were fucking watching
that
it.
have 12-foot red drapes.
Sure, why not?
Oh.
Maybe they've got 6-foot ones and they sewed them together.
I didn't see the solid lines. And I looked for them. It's just... if you go, I can see how you can enjoy it, and there's a rompish nature to it.
It's not a rompish nature.
I think there's
that's an odd choice of words. I wouldn't call Silent Hill Revelation a romp.
They're not romping through Silent Hill, skipping and having a fucking good time, are they?
They seem like that to me.
It's not a romp, you freak.
I do think it seems a bit like a romp.
It's not a romp.
Right. I can see you could get that, but it doesn't click with me. I'm glad it clicks with you. I'm glad you get such enjoyment out of it, and I fed off that enjoyment. But every time I mentioned anything vaguely critical, you shot me a death look.
And well, because you're wrong.
Well, Ian will be the deciding vote on this one then.
Well, if he's also wrong, then no, he will not.
Ian, what do you think of it?
I mean, I like you said, it's a half hour shorter than the first one, so that's good. Wasn't as keen on the music. They use the Silent Hill game music every now and then, but it kind of feels like it's less. I will say, big fan. Wish I had the Charlie Big Bananas nature to pull off a voicemail where I just go, "It's me, leave a message," like Sean Bean does at one point. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, I don't know. It's again, it kind of.
We had a voicemail once, didn't we? Was it our flat? Was it our first house that just said, "We won't listen to this"?
We did somewhere. I think that was the last place we actually had a landline phone plugged in.
Yeah,
So it must have been.
I think it was the house on Floscott where literally our voicemail message it went, "We won't listen to this." Beep.
Well, at least you're setting that up right. You know what I mean? Like you're setting expectations very well there, and I respect that. Yeah, it does take a bit of it does take a while to get going. I don't think that the scares are all that great, and I think that the villains are just a bit shit. It is just like a do-over of the first one, but I do like Adelaide Clements. I think she's got some presence. She's a more likable lead than Radha Mitchell is. The
world's worst mother.
She still does have the world's worst mother, but the mother at least only appears for about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't think Radha Mitchell's credited at the end either, which made me wonder whether like it was basically a deleted alternative ending for the original that they just stuck in there.
What is it? Because she looks considerably older, I think.
Oh, all right, fair enough then. But yeah, it was a bit odd watching it so soon after the first one, because that first like 15 minutes or so before they do that flashback, it is just like, what the fuck is going on? Like why are they back there, and why are they calling each other different names and shit? And I mean, Kit Harington is bad, but I think Adelaide Clements is perfectly decent. I mean, the creature design is great. It's nice to see Pyramid Head getting some more work. That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. I certainly don't hate it, but if it was pushing the 2-hour mark and was this film, then I think it would be a heck of a lot worse. But it kind of gets in and out and does its job. I watched it on Saturday morning all in one sitting, just got like fucking cranked it out. And yeah, job done. I can't say I am super fond of the Silent Hill films. I think there's definitely a better film that could be made of them, of the video games. But yeah, I mean, I can't say I hated it. I think I'm in between you two, really.
Fair enough. Do you know what I wish one of the films had done? Wouldn't really work on the first one. I wish one of the films had done some kind of variation adaptation of the joke endings on the games. Have you ever...
Explain. No, explain.
You looked at me like, why would I know that?
Because I've shown you the joke ending before.
Is that in the same way as I've shown you numerous Pauly Shaw movies?
No. I worked hard to play through Silent Hill 3 specifically to get the joke ending.
Whereas, yeah, we all know Pauly Shaw movies to watch, so fair enough.
No, shut up, dickhead. So, I will find the Wikipedia page so that I can read it properly to you. And I think they've done it. They did it on number 1. I don't know if they did it on number 2, but they did it on number 3. Oh, for fuck's sake!
What?
God, phone being a dickhead. Anyway, so hang on. 3 endings appear in the game. The normal ending, which is the only ending available on the first playthrough, sees Heather and Douglas survive, while in the possessed ending, Heather kills Douglas. Douglas is Detective Dipshit.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. In the revenge ending, which is a joke ending accessible by performing certain in-game actions, Heather reunites with Harry and Harry orders UFOs to blow up Silent Hill.
Well, I have seen that one, yeah.
You have indeed.
That's pretty sweet.
It's good. And then Silent Hill 1 ending. So the joke ending on this one.
There is a...
Extraterrestrials abduct Harry, which is the Christopher de Silva character.
There is a post-credits in this as well, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Yeah. Just Pyramid Head walking.
I mean, who doesn't want to see more of that, to be fair? He's a badass baddie.
I think he's a sex offender.
I mean, no one knows that wasn't consensual.
I'm pretty sure this whole thing's about him being a sex offender. You type in Pyramid Head sexual harassment. There's a lot of it there.
I mean, I'm not going to do that because
I don't ever want to type those words in.
Pyramid Head.
You type in Pyramid Head, you've got to type in something relevant to it and it will pull it up.
Well, no, because it'll be on his Wikipedia page.
Pyramid Head. The second search down, Pyramid Head sexual assaults.
Nice.
Jesus.
Silent Hill, the frustration due to a lack of sexual activity between the manifested through the bubblehead nurses and almost all monsters of the game, the scene in which Pyramid Head appears to rape mannequins.
I mean, they're just mannequins. That's like having sex with a doll.
There's a question here, is Pyramid Head a rapist? Well, there's a lot of words in that. In the answer.
I mean, I think just leave Pyramid Head alone. From Dark Alessa's point of view, he's a good guy.
Oh, so.
This might take a while, Ian. He's reading.
Okay.
You can almost see the steam coming out of his ears. You alright, baby?
I'm trying to work out.
Do you want an ice pack for your head?
Maybe. Oh, God, go away, nerds. Just tell me whether or not he's a rapist or not. Like, what we don't... I'm just going to say he is, without reading all that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. I didn't put an audience poll for this. But yeah, I would go that it's a bit shit.
You're a dickhead. Ian?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'll be honest, it's mild, but yeah, definitely not shit. I think it's inoffensive enough. It's still got enough of the style of Silent Hill to kind of pull me through it. And like I say, I think the lead's better than Radha Mitchell. So yeah, a mild, definitely not shit.
Strong, definitely not shit from me.
Fair play.
It's not Fallout though.
No, it's not Fallout.
Oh, we could rewatch Fallout.
No.
I swear to fucking
Christ. Charges his arms up, right? You remember that bit?
I do remember that bit.
If you guys buy a 4K TV, and I'm assuming you'll buy the PlayStation 5 with the 4K disc drive, I'll just buy you a copy of Fallout on 4K. I'll just buy it just get it done. Right. Just get it done. You won't regret it. The TV that you had at the cabin was obviously not fit for purpose, and I'm sorry I wasn't there to set it up.
Next time I will ring you to set it up with me.
Yeah, you do. You need to take a long look at yourself in the mirror and question why you didn't do that in the first place.
Speculate.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. I don't need to know what else was distracting you in that situation. Let's move on. Questions. Have we got questions? How long is this show? This feels like a very long show. I've enjoyed my time immensely. But patrons are going to be getting about a 3-hour show. So, yes.
First question. We've only got 2 questions, but they're both great questions. First question from John Dangerfield. What's your favourite cheese? And he also says, when are you bringing back Patreon View back? My pick is Tammy and the T-Rex. I've just looked at what Tammy and the T-Rex is, and I'm going to fucking watch that. It sounds great.
So the Patreon reviews, to be honest, the just kind of like adding random shit to the schedule every week has completely just like torpedoed the we need to finish off the Patreon reviews. So I'm ever so sorry. Tammy and the T-Rex was not submitted at the time that we closed that off, but it sounds like Mark is going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I am.
And
don't do party poopery and watch Tammy and the T-Rex.
I'll watch Tammy and the T-Rex, but my OCD will not allow me to call it a patron review.
That's fine. But it's 82 minutes long, Ian.
Is it on out?
Shudder.
Oh, fucking Shudder. Fuck off, Shudder.
Probably get a free trial on Shudder.
We've already had one.
Yeah, they might have forgot though.
Probably get another one.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and actually thinking about that, the patron reviews, I think we still need to do Short Bus and Perfect Sense before we move on to the men doing their jobs really fucking well marathon.
Yeah, we'll get those done at some point when life starts to return.
Yeah, it probably will be something like that when we've actually got some structure to our lives. But yeah, Michael Mann doesn't necessarily feel like a summer kind of director to talk about either. In all honesty,
he's a September October director.
Yeah. But it will come. It will come. Favorite cheese, halloumi on a barbecue.
Oh, that's a really strong shout.
It's a really difficult one for me. There aren't many cheeses I don't like.
What's your favourite though?
I don't fucking know.
Ooh, I was about to say my favourite, then another one can't bread. Mine's Bavarian smoked cheese.
You do like that?
Fuck, I love Bavarian smoked cheese.
I do like a burrata. You know the mozzarella ones?
Yeah.
They're fucking good, where they're all liquidy in the middle and then they're...
Not
you liked it when we had it on the bruschetta things though?
Oh yeah, that was
with
nice.
the Parma ham.
No, I liked it. I'm just not as big a fan as you were.
Could be, but I do like halloumi though, and Stilton. Also brie.
I'd also throw like a good applewood in there. Any kind of smoked cheese, I'm a big fan of.
God, I want some cheese now. We've only got boring cheddar.
Yeah,
I finished my Stilton, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Crumbled the rest of the Stilton through some hot pasta and it went all gooey. Oh, fucking delicious.
I hate the word gooey.
Gooey.
We have another question.
Is it cheese related?
It's not cheese related now. It's Rick Kidd at Rick J Kidd. I recently had a conversation about great films that I've seen once but will never watch again, e.g. Schindler's List. Do you have any films which fall into that category?
No, I quite like rewatching misery porn films.
Yeah, you do a little bit.
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream. It's a great film. Never need to see it again.
I don't want to watch that again.
Never need to see it again.
I think I've... Oh, go on, Bex.
No, I genuinely don't think there is any. If I like a film, I will rewatch it again at some point. There's not really anything that, like, even Casualties of War. It's a horrible fucking film. I'll rewatch it again at some point because it's also really good.
Yeah.
I don't really want.
I think I swear I've kind of answered this in some context on the show before, but Rick's probably listened to every single episode, so maybe not. But Thomas Vinterberg's The Hunt for me. A fantastic fucking, like, an amazing film. Mads Mikkelsen is incredible in that film, but I'll never ever watch that film again. Just incredibly stressful. The Hunt for sure.
I have things like, for instance, I enjoyed watching all of the Lord of the Rings movies when I watched them. I enjoyed watching, I think, all of the Harry Potter movies when I watched them. But I have never had any interest to watch any of them again at all. Same as the Star Wars films. I've pretty much enjoyed all of them when we've watched them, you know, the new ones that have come out. But if you said to me, "Oh, do you want to watch?" I can't know what it's called.
Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. I'd be like, no.
It's on Disney Plus, that in.
I got it on fucking 4K disc.
Did you? I forgot about that.
Yeah. I need to put that on eBay at some point, sell it to some fucking idiot.
A bit like that with movies, but stuff like, for instance, Requiem for a Dream, I never need to see that again. It's just too...
Oh, I really want to rewatch The Machinist as well.
Again, great film. Don't see it again.
I don't. Yeah,
Films that are just oppressively miserable. I don't... There might be a point where I go, I fancy watching that tonight. But now it's like, I don't know that I can cope with that much just misery poured upon me.
I was even thinking the other day I'd quite like to rewatch a Serbian film.
Yeah, you see, I don't need to see that again. I don't think it's a great film.
I don't think it was a great film.
But I don't need to see it again.
I'd like to watch it without all the
noise around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fucking miserable.
Yeah, I just don't give a shit anymore about that.
One of the managers I work with, Nick, like pretty much whenever it's like the first conversation we have with anyone in work, he'll say like, do you know what Ian's favourite film is? And they'll be like, no, what? And it's like a Serbian film. You should look it up. He does that with like every single fucking person, I swear to God. And it was like our boss at the time, he like said that to once, and then she Googled it, and then he had to say like, I'm joking, I am joking. That is not his, like, because it got a little bit like, are you fucking serious? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah, thanks for that, Nick. Okay, so I think that's the end of the show. What a treat that was. What a fucking treat that was to record. I hope it was I hope it was a good episode for everyone listening. I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much to George for joining us. Thank you, Mark. Oh,
you're very welcome.
And thank you, Becky.
You are very welcome.
Lovely. Next week we will be talking The King of Staten Island and 7500. Remind me to watch 7500. I'm sure I'll remember. It'll be all right. And you know, we'll see what else week after. We got Eurovision. Week after that, who the fuck knows? We'll see. Could there be some sort of product in cinemas that weekend? Who knows? Probably not, but
Russell Crowe.
Who knows? Russell, yeah, I mean that's the thing. They're talking about a US release for that, but not a UK release, and it's like I need me some 4DX for that.
Yeah.
And I'll socially distance because I'll be the only fucker stupid enough to pay for it. Oh dear. So yeah, nice one, guys. We are podsyndicate.com. Listen to Jordan Lawrence podcast, his Film Her Movie, and I better go. It's late. You two need some food. So goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. We're going to go eat cheese.
Oh, and also the last part of Catsmas is now on the Patreon, $2 a month, patreon.com/filmbastards. Bye.
Bye.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Yeah, Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Woo, right on, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo, right on, baby. Right on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ba-do-ba-do, beep-beep-beep-do. Ba-do-beep-beep-beep-do, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-do. Mother, mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply 'cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way. Bring some understanding here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Woo, 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 woo. Right on, baby. Right on. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Woo. Right on, baby. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Ba-do-ba-do, ba-ba-ba-do. Ba-do-ba-ba-ba-do, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Woo! Right on, baby. Come on. Right on. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Woo! Right on. No sweat. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Ba-do-ba-do, ba-ba-ba-do. Ba-do-ba-ba-ba-do, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-do. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.